Hi everyone, and welcome back to the IT Hub. In today's lesson, we are continuing in a series of lessons on the Jamaica Food and Rum Festival, SBA. What we're going to be concentrating on in today's lesson is the report for the database. That is the last aspect, which is task C. Now for the report, we have some specific fields that we need to be creating the report on. We need to group it on a specific area as well as to sort it on a specific area. First thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the Create tab. We're going to go to the Reports group and we're going to click on the Report Wizard icon. That will bring up the Report Wizard dialog box. From this, we need to select which fields we want to utilize in our report. Now from the notes, we want to use the parish name, organization, as a sponsor. We want to use the 3 tiers and we want to also use the total sponsorship field. So for the parish name, we're going to be using location for parish name. That's what we have in the database. So we're going to select the events table in the table/queries area, and we're going to click on location field, then click the single arrow to move it from available fields to selected fields. The other thing that we need is the organization, and we're going to find that in the sponsors table. So we change the table to sponsors table, select organization name, then we send it over. Next thing we will need are the tiers, and that we're going to find in the sponsorship deals table. So I can double click on the field name as well to send it over. So I'm sending over all 3 tiers. And then the last field is the sponsorship field. Having selected all the fields that are required for the report, the next thing you will do is to click the next button. It asks you how you want to view your data. It didn't state in the SBA how you want to view it. And so I'm going to just leave it there for the time being. I'm going to click next. It asks you how you want to group it. It says you're to group it by the sponsorship tiers. So I'm going to add the 3 tiers to the grouping levels. Then I'm going to go to next. It says you're to sort it by parish name, which is the same thing as location. So I'm not seeing location here. It's not showing up in the list. So let me have a look back at that. So I just double checked something, because remember you were not told how to view your data. When I left it as it was by location, it prevented me from sorting the data by location. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to view it by sponsors, because there's nothing else here for you to view it by. Could be viewed by sponsorship deals, but let me see what happens when I do that. It does allow you to do the location, but I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it based on the other one I selected before, which is by sponsors. So by organization. So next, I'm going to set the grouping levels, which is tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. I'm going to go to next. I'm going to set the sorting by location. Then for the summary options, we're supposed to sum up the total sponsorship. So we check the sum box for total sponsorship, click OK, and then click next. I want to have it in landscape because I want it nice and wide. Click next. I'm going to give the report a name. It's supposed to be JFRF 2022. I'm going to put 0.1 because I already had a report there with that name. So I'm just going to put 0.1, but you don't need to put the 0.1. Just give it the original name, which is JFRF 2022, which is Jamaica Food and Rum Festival 2022. Then I'm going to click finish. Okay, it's not a valid report name, so I'm just gonna put the 1 there at the end instead of that 1 and click finish. So it's going to generate the report based on what I just gave. Now the report looks a bit strange, and that's one of the reasons why the video was taking so long in coming. But I am doing it based on the requirements on the SBA, and so I cannot do anything better than what I have here. Now the thing is, you need to create headings for the report. To do this, you need to go to the layout view or the design view. The design view. I'm going to click on the design view here, and I am going to make the adjustments as necessary. So you're supposed to have two titles. The first title should say Jamaica Food and Rum Festival, and it should be centered. An easy way to add the heading, students, is to go to the page header, right? Position your cursor on the area where I have my mouse, anywhere along here. And once you see the bidirectional arrow going up and down, you're going to click and drag down. Just give yourself enough space to add the two headings. A quick way, you can use the label or text box to add the headings. What I usually do is just, let me close the property sheet to see how far the data is stretched. I normally just stretch the original text box that is given, and then I right click and copy it, and right click and paste. And I just drag off one of them and just pull it down below the second. So you have two text boxes for two titles. The first title should be Jamaica Food and Rum Festival. Let me just start that quickly. Jamaica Food and Rum Festival. And it says you're to center it. So while I'm still in the text box, I'm going to go to the Format tab, click on the Format tab and click the center icon. I'm also going to change the font style, even though that was not a requirement. I'm going to change it to Algerian, and I'm going to change the color to yellow. You don't have to, I'm filling my background color with yellow. All right, so that's the shape fill. I could change my text color to, let's say, green. But you don't have to do yours as like that, students. I'm just doing that to show like that you can do things like that. Then the second title says sponsorship. And it too should be centered, sponsorship report. And it too should be centered. So I'm going to click on the center icon. I'm going to change the font style to the same Algerian, and I'm going to fill with the yellow and change the font color to green. And I'm going to right click and go back to the report view to see how my report looks. Now, of course, if you don't like the colors that you have here, you can always go back and make a change to those colors. But students, this is as simple as the report gets, and this is the final thing. This is how it looks completely. You will notice that it has the totals for each. It's supposed to have a grand total at the end. Let me scroll down and have a look at that. Not seeing it right now, but it should be there somewhere. Let me go to the layout view and see what happens. Anyhow, it's showing all the values. So I'm not able to move from one page to the next, which I should. It seems to have disappeared. Nonetheless, the data is there. And so here is the sum. The sum should actually have a value, not seeing the value. Right, so maybe I'll have to do a bit of investigation as to why this isn't showing, but this is basically how the report is going to look. All right, so guys, this is the report. If you have found the video informative, please click the like button and share. And if you have not yet subscribed, hit the subscription button and the notification bell as well.